I did a video yesterday on who do we need to reach out to say we love them, and who do we know that we love that might be suffering, might be struggling, that we need to reach out and just like say, hey, I'm here for you. Today I'm going to talk about the amount of suffering that's going on in this world is just crazily intense, and it's getting bigger, deeper. And there's a lot of people that really don't know what we should be doing. And I just want to give a few of my thoughts. It doesn't mean they're right. It's just my thoughts on how we can start to alleviate some of the suffering. And I think number one is that if you're struggling right now, the best thing to do is to limit it to one or two people that you share what's going on. We increase our own suffering the more we talk about it. So if we have 2 or 4 or 6 or 8 or 10 people and we're talking to them, we're going, oh my God, I heard about that, but did you hear that I'm going through this? And did you hear that he said that or she did? You know, the more we talk about the suffering, the greater it gets, and the more it has legs. As a matter of fact, the more we talk about what isn't right in our world, the more we talk about what isn't right with our family, with a bunch of people, the more we share our suffering, the greater it grows in our subconscious mind. And then we start seeing nothing but suffering. Isn't that fascinating? You know, if we talk about it, whether we're talking about the wars or we're talking about finance or we're talking about our own challenges that we might be facing with our weight or relationships, the more we talk, the deeper that suffering goes into the subconscious, which means the harder it is to get rid of it. So number one is we have to write down the 1 or 2 people that we're going to talk to about what we're going through and limit it at that. And if other people say to us, hey, I heard that you went through a divorce, or I heard that you're struggling with weight or alcohol or something, go, yeah, I'm doing some work with some other people. I'm great, but thank you so much for asking. Don't go into any explanation with more than 1 or 2 people. I see this is one of the greatest mistakes some of my clients have made over the years, and myself early on in my career, was sharing. You know, we share how unfair this was and how unfair that was, and all of a sudden our world becomes unfair. Now, I want to tell you something interesting. On the flip side, there's phenomenal people, which is one of the reasons I did the video yesterday. You know, I talked about my buddy Alex going out of his way to help me, Becky going out of her way to help me, my brother going out of his way to help me, because I was having a tough time, right? But I didn't go beyond those 3 people. And as a matter of fact, 2 of the 3, I wasn't going to say anything, but they saw it in my eyes that there was something wrong. It's just crazy how people can pick up your energy when they know you that well, right? So I limit it to 3 people. I'm going to ask you to do the same. And then the other thing is, what are we filling our free time with that has nothing to do with suffering? What are we filling our free time with that's joyful? What are we filling our free time with that makes a difference in this world? Are we volunteering? Are we helping others? Are we good listeners? Do we give too much advice? You know, if we give too much advice, we're increasing the suffering of people, because there's no need for us to give other people advice. The most important thing someone who's suffering needs is our ears. The most important thing someone who's suffering needs is someone who listens, because listening says I love you. Listening says I care about you. Listening says I'm in the present moment with you. My mind isn't on the beach. My mind isn't thinking about dinner. My mind isn't thinking about anything else other than being present for you. It's one of the greatest gifts that as a counselor I give to my clients, is I give them the freedom, and I listen very intently and very deeply. It's not that I'm perfect, but I do my very best to make sure that they know I'm fully present with them in our sessions. I'm fully present even if I'm texting them, for God's sake. So let's do this, okay? Let's minimize the amount that we're talking about wars and suffering and inflation and all the political nonsense. Let's stop talking about it, other than maybe to 1 or 2 people. And it would be really great if one of those persons was a professional, a counselor, a coach, a therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever it might be, right? Like, have a professional listening so that they can help you. They can alleviate some of your suffering by maybe even giving you more than their ears. But if all they give you is their ears, maybe that's all you need, is to vent. And then the very last thing I'm going to say that helps immensely when it comes to suffering is to try to learn how to do more meditation, walking meditation, relaxation techniques. I mean, they're all over YouTube. You can Google anything I just said. But as we're going through these times that are so difficult, we need the brain to have a break. And meditation, walking meditation, deep breathing gives the brain a break from the suffering. And then we look for what's joyful. What could I watch tonight that would lift my spirits? What could I read tonight that would lift my spirits? What is it that I could do that would make me happier? think about that. If I can help you, go to talkdavid.com. We have 4 books there for free. You can grab anytime you want to, and I'm available. All around the world, we work with clients because the suffering is so intense. But we're going to alleviate it together, aren't we? Until we talk again, I'm wishing you a great day. I'm David Essel.